Hi everyone, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto and welcome to our auction purchase walk around video. This one here is a Land Cruiser 80 Series 1990 and was bought from auction in order to be sent to the USA. This one here is a turbo diesel 4.2 liter, and this is quite a special walk around for me because this is my first time doing an 80 Series Land Cruiser. We've bought so many 60s that I can't even count, and we bought a number of 70s, but this is the first 80, and that's because these are one of the new imports to the USA. And so pretty excited kind of to look it over and compare it to the 60, which this one replaces. The 70 is the utilitarian version of the Land Cruiser. The 60 and the 80 are the I don't know what you would call them, the comfort models, more highly equipped models. Somebody in an Escalade here wants to get past. This is what happens when you drive a big car in Japan. Okay, we're gonna do a funny little walk around because she doesn't think that she can squeeze through. And so we usually wouldn't be driving the cars, but here we go. Look at that, automatic close the hood. Come on, you've got room. It's a soccer mom, if those existed here in Japan. Yes, you can make it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so back to the walk around. I did inadvertently close the hood, and so normally we would talk about the engine a little bit, and so I'll talk about it without actually showing. Nah, changed my mind. I'll show you the engine because I do want to point out a couple of things that are in there. Now I will say that the condition of this car is better than we expected it to be, which is really nice. We buy the cars from the auction. Buying cars is always a little bit hit and miss, and so this one was in quite good condition, so very happy about that. Okay, so it is an intercooled engine. You can see there's an intercooler right here. By the looks of the intercooler, because it's made out of aluminum and the way that it's welded, it doesn't look like a factory intercooler, but I don't know because it's my first time. It has a giant size radiator, super big, and the coolant inside looks good but not great. I would change it. Now this car, the power steering doesn't work perfectly, and so it should be checked. There are no leaks, the fluid level is fine. It just feels a little bit difficult to steer more than it should. Timing belt was changed in 2000 at 85,940. Now this one has 138,000, and so it's only had, let's see, probably about 55,000 kilometers driven in the last 16 years. So not that much. Oil looks good. Engine runs great. Dual battery, I think these are 24 volt. I know 60s and 70s are. Okay, gonna lower the hood here. And hood dampers. Really nice to have those because the hoods are really heavy on Land Cruisers, and 60 and 70s, because they're tall, you don't get that much leverage to open the hood, and if you're scrawny like me, that's a big problem. Okay. Alright, so we have the stock height, stock wheels, and great condition overall. Let's look at the auction sheet here. And so this is the information we had on the car before we bought it. And so it's 1990 Land Cruiser 80. This is a VX model, and that's the turbo diesel, 4200cc. This is an auction grade 3.5 with an interior D. Now, I think they were pretty strict on the D grade there. I think 3.5 is fine for the exterior. 25 years old, or rarely ever a grade 4 or grade 4.5, and so that's fine. 138,082 kilometers, and this is authentic mileage, so the auction guarantees the mileage on it. This is original gray color, and the paint on this is pretty outstanding. Land Cruisers often have paint fade. This one is in good shape. It is a metallic paint, and so nice and sparkly in the sun. Okay, sunroof, which I believe is on all of the ZX models. Aftermarket keyless entry. Electric winch. One owner car. Seat heaters. Aftermarket exhaust. And let me just show you here. The electric winch is in a little cover here. And so the cover opens up and you get the electric winch. Now, the winches that came stock, that is a stock item on the car. The winches that came stock in the 60s were mechanical, and so they moved over to electronic for this version. Aftermarket Springs, it says. Is that taller than the Land Cruisers usually are? I don't know. So, Aftermarket Springs, maybe a little bit taller. I don't know what it says here. It says Dunji Ola Machu Bais. I don't know. Purchase from user. Okay, interior and headliner are yellow. And the car smells a lot like cigarettes, so that's probably why. Underside surface rust. Door mirrors don't fold. That's this one here. Exterior has some paint repair marks. Now, the reason why I didn't think this one was going to be very good is because both doors have a C3. C3 is large corrosion on it. This one here, you can see it's really not as bad as the auction sheet would have you think. Okay, the other side is worse, but still, I believe that we got this this one for a pretty good price, considering this comment alone probably scared off a lot of people. The worst part's this bubbling right here. And we typically don't recommend cars that have rust on them, but everyone is welcome to buy whichever cars that they want. Okay, the trunk has been replaced. A3 scratches on the cover there, and paint peeling on the front. So let's look at the paint peeling. The grille here has peeling. Might be a little bit hard to see in the video, but it's inside here, and then this section here has kind of like that tarnished look to it. Headlight washers on it, and here's the A3 that's on the winch cover, and then that's a pretty nasty bracket there. I don't think that that's the original plate for it. Okay, enough auction sheeting. Let's take a look at the vehicle, and we'll talk about how much I love Land Cruisers. And pardon me, this is going to be a little bit of a biased walk around, because Land Cruisers are, especially diesel Land Cruisers, are something I really like. Interesting point, this can't be registered here in Yokohama because you're not allowed old style diesel engines. The new diesels, like a clean diesel, is allowed, but they don't allow these old style ones in this area. If you look at the exhaust, you can see it's running a little bit rich. And so it needs a little bit of a tune-up and some fuel additive. Diesel fuel goes bad pretty quickly compared to gasoline. Big vehicle, so I'm going into the forest. Okay. I believe the side skirts on this one are stock side skirts. They are an aftermarket looking one, but those two pieces latch together, and the top piece definitely looks like it's original. These are full four-wheel drive, or full-time four-wheel drive, if I can speak properly. And so you don't get to choose between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, but there is a high gear and a low gear selector, and it does have a center diff lock and electronic locking hubs on it. And so they are quite capable vehicles. Let's look at the folding mirror that doesn't work. Somebody mentioned that they wanted us to talk more about the mirrors when we do these walkarounds, because folding mirrors are something that not every country has on their cars, but they're on basically every car in Japan. So that one works, the one on this side doesn't work. Maybe this one doesn't work too. That's weird. Okay. A little bit of a saggy liner here. I guess we'll go into the interior now. Door cards are good. They're a little bit dirty, but they're good. This doesn't have very much wear on it at all, and so that's really nice. The 60s would always rip on here, and they would wear really heavily in the door cards. Steering wheel's the original one. Looks like it's in really good shape. Sadly, the seats no longer say turbo on them like they do on the older Land Cruisers, but the seats are in good shape, and the heated seat does work, and it's really nice. It's on right now. A little bit saggy on the side here. It's because you have to be really tall in order to just get onto the seat without stepping up like this to get in. Sunroof is tilt and full sliding into the underside of the roof. Okay, crack on the dashboard here. Did the auction sheet mention that? That'd be a strange thing for the auction sheet not to mention. No, they didn't. Oh, that's a pain. Sorry about that. Okay, these ones here for your roll down the windows a little bit while it's raining. Common in Japanese cars. Now, 5-speed manual transmission. This is a big deal because 80 series are really easy to find with automatics, really difficult to find with a 5-speed manual. So, really lucky to have one that has the 5-speed. Shifting is perfect, clutch is perfect, brakes are fine, heated seats, everything original here, automatic AC over here, rear heater, high and low, normal and sport suspension, antenna up and down, that works. Here's your center diff lock button. Okay. See, the garbage truck can get through, but apparently the Escalade couldn't. Door cards are in good shape with these nice little nets. It's cool because the seats are kind of like an older Toyota, but still, you know, a little bit modern looking. I like them. These seats fold flat and then up so that you can have a full-size rear. You get quite a lot of room. Lots of headroom, lots of visibility. The windows are really large, especially compared to modern cars today. Has a rear mount tire, spare tire. Now the tires on the car are not that old. Let's see if we can find that date again. Here we go. So they're 2000. I'm sorry, pardon me, I said not that old. Not that much wear, but very old is what I meant to say. They're 2001, not very much wear, and so that means they haven't driven all that much in the last little bit. Typical of Land Cruisers, they have the dual tailgate. 60s had these or barnyard doors depending on the model, but all of the turbo diesels of the 60s had this dual tailgate with a nice carpet in here. Something interesting about Land Cruisers is take a look at this. Here's where one tire is, and then the other one has this weird little divot in it. Don't know why that is, but it's on all of them. This came with the car, and it's a little care package. Comes with that, some other things like the sponge chamois. This is the electric winch kit, and so if you want to use the winch, you get a remote control. And so it has a magnet on it so that you can stick it onto things, and it has the in and the out, power and over temp. So really cool to have that. With the car, I'm just going to leave these ones like this because I don't want to close it all up. Here's what the aftermarket exhaust looks like. And if you look underneath the car, it's super clean. I'll show you from over here. Of course, if you have rust on the doors, you always have to expect that there may be rust somewhere else. From what I can tell, it's extremely clean underneath here. And so for a Land Cruiser, especially a diesel one, the mileage is pretty low on this. The 5-speed, excellent body, really no scratches or dents anywhere on it. Some rust on the doors that needs to be addressed, but overall a really good purchase with this one, and I'm really happy to see the 80s finally, but especially a good 80 like this. It's good to see that such a cool car is going to be going to the USA. So, hope you enjoyed the walk around here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Be sure to check out our website. The link to that is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.